Hey everybody, JM Creates here, doing another video in the car. I just want to let you know, you may have seen me on Twitter if you follow me on Twitter or not. If you don't, then you're like most people. But if you do follow me on Twitter, I definitely I was talking a little about something that I have planned. It's going to take a little effort to put this video together, so it's going to be not up today. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to get you guys a video. So just my Lone Star unboxing is coming, and I'm working on making it hopefully one of the best videos on my channel. As far as pure entertainment value and whatever, like, I've got a little something planned. I don't want to hype it up too much because inevitably then it will just disappoint, and, why do that? So anyway, getting on with it, today, I figured while I'm driving home from work, I will talk to you guys. And the reason, by the way, I just wanted to mention the reason why there's some family stuff going on. I got to help out some family. We're watching my niece and nephew and whatever. So we'll be babysitting for the next day, and there's some stuff going on. So, family takes precedence, but here I am. I'm in the car. There's nothing else I can do but drive home. And so I'm talking to you guys, and we'll get this video done for today. I like to have a video every day. So anyway, what the heck was I going to talk about? I decided that today I wanted to talk about something that it's been going around for a while, and it kind of was really big a few months back, and then it kind of died out, but every now and then you still see it pop up, and that's that hashtag comics are for everyone. The funny thing about that is when you see people use that hashtag, or when they say that, either they mean it genuinely and they're trying to say, like, dude, stop fighting. Everyone can read comics. No one is stopping anyone from reading comics. Or what it is it's people saying, you need to make comics that cater to my tastes because comics are for everyone. And if you don't like it, well, that's just too bad. You don't have to read it. That's not how that works. Like, do people not see the irony in a statement like that? I've seen plenty of people who are saying, comics are for everyone. So if you don't like the current direction of the current direction of Marvel, then you're a whatever. They've got all kinds of names for you. But that doesn't make any sense, because let's take another medium and let's talk about television. Television truly is a medium for everyone. There are shows out there for everyone. If you like crappy reality shows about B-list and Z-list celebrities, there are shows out there for you. Clearly my audience is not into that, because I did one video about that kind of stuff and nobody watched it. So hey, message received. But there are people out there who like that kind of stuff, and those shows exist for them. There are people who enjoy sports. Guess what? Plenty of sports on TV that you can watch. There are people who like watching, British mysteries. Those are on TV. You can watch those. There are things for everyone. No one is trying to say that everything is for everyone. And that's the problem. Like, when it comes to comic books, it seems to be like everyone wants to make this argument that every kind of comic should be for everyone. And that's not the case. That's why there are genres. A lot of people love Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. But I know a lot of people who don't watch it and have no interest in watching it because they're not into that kind of thing. That makes sense. That's fine. You might be more into watching, Cake Wars or something. Okay, that's fine. Those shows exist for you. This is what I'm saying, is there are all these different things that exist for all these different people in the realm of television. And it's the same thing in movies. If you're a kid, there are plenty of kids' movies. If you like romances, there are romantic movies. If you like mysteries, there are mystery movies. If you like thrillers, there are thrillers. If you like horror movies, there are horror movies. If you like action-adventure movies, those exist too. Movies as a whole and television as a whole does not have to entirely everything in that medium be for everyone. That's where I think people seem to make this mistake. Comic books are for everyone. That doesn't mean that every comic book is for everyone. For example, if you like superhero comics, there are superhero comics. The problem comes in when people try to turn superhero comics into other things. And that's where the longtime fans have gotten really sick and tired of this stuff. It would be like, and part of it is because they're hiring people who honestly know nothing about comics, and I don't even care if you really don't know the history of a character. You can do research and find out and then learn to write that character. That's what a good writer would do. These people don't do that. They don't bother with that. They don't care what the character is. They will just simply change the character to suit the story they want to tell. That is not how characters are supposed to work. Unless it is literally a blank slate of a character, which comic book characters are not. They've got long histories and long established personalities. So what happens is it would be like, let's say you decided that suddenly, well, Hallmark movies need to be for everyone. And since some people like Hong Kong action films, we're going to cast Jackie Chan in a bunch of Hallmark movies. We're going to make him the leading man, the romantic interest in the movie, but he's also going to beat up a whole lot of people in the movie. Oh, and we also, because Jackie Chan tends to do comedic films, so we've got comedy covered. We also have to throw somebody else in there, so maybe we'll have Quentin Tarantino direct it so that there's lots of blood and guts everywhere. Or maybe we'll have Eli Roth direct it. So there's also torture scenes in there as well, because it has to be for everyone. And since it has to be for everyone, let's throw some cartoon characters in there too so we can get the kids also. Like, that's not how anything works. It doesn't work that way. That would be a horribly unsuccessful thing to do. Hallmark movies the Hallmark Channel and all their movies are successful because their movies are inoffensive, they are simple, they are light, they are not going to make you think too hard, they're not going to upset you, they're not going to challenge your stances in life, they're not going to do any of that stuff, they're not going to challenge your politics, they're not going to talk about religion, they're not going to do, they literally are just there to entertain you if you like to see a nice, gentle, romantic movie, maybe with some laughs, because some of them have some jokes in them. And that's pretty much it. That's what they are. And they know what they are, and they're successful because the audience knows what they are. There seems to be a big enough audience to make them successful, and Hallmark knows what they're making for that audience. Hallmark's not going to try and make an action movie to bring in the male demographic. That would be a horrible blunder on their part, because that would really upset their normal market who's supporting them all this time. And you wouldn't draw in the other audience anyway, simply because it would probably not be very good. If you're asking the Hallmark movie writers to write an action movie, it's not going to be Die Hard. It's going to be lame. It's just going to be lame. And this is kind of what we have with comic books right now. People are trying to shoehorn superhero comics to be what they're not. Let's just let superhero comics be superhero comics. What are they? They're pulp. They're pulp fiction. They're action adventure. They're silly. They're fun. They can be serious, and they can have their serious moments, of course. They can have their big dramatic moments and everything else, naturally. But you know what else was able to pull that kind of stuff off? Shows like Hercules and Xena. And no one's going to take those shows seriously. But you know what? They were funny. They were silly. They had action. They had adventure. And they also had serious moments. That's basically what comic books should be, what superhero comic books should be. Marvel, of all companies, you would think, would understand this, since one of the first things that they did when they existed was make romance comics. That was how they started. Okay, go back to that. If you want to sell comics to women who are not into superheroes, who don't like superheroes, they don't like the action, the fighting, and all that stuff, then make something that caters to them. Make a new book. Don't just try to take a character that has existed for 70 years, hijack it, and turn it into something it's not supposed to be. It's not meant to be. Make something new. Comics can be for everyone. There can be romantic comics out there. There already are lots of humor comics out there. And some of them are funnier than others because it's humor. And that's the way that works. But no one's stopping you from making them. No one's going to stop you from making a romance book. You could certainly make a romance book. Go ahead. Listen, go crowdfund a romance comic. See if it makes money. If it does, you got an audience. Good on you. That means you made a comic for that audience. The comic book will find its audience. It's not supposed to be the other way around. Like, the audience, well, I guess that doesn't really make much sense, but my point is, you've got to make a comic for an audience, and the audience will find it, and then that is your audience. You can't say, well, I don't like this audience. I want a different audience. If you make something and kids are the big audience for it, then guess what? You've made a kid's book. Embrace it and move on. Let the kids read it and just and don't worry about it. Have fun with it. This is what I just don't understand. When you say comics are for everyone, I agree with you. Comics are for everyone because comics are a medium. No medium is just for one type of person. Painting is not only for one type of person. Painting is a medium. It is not a genre. Superhero is a genre. There is a difference. People need to learn the difference, I think, between a medium and a genre. Television is a medium. Westerns are a genre. You don't see a lot of Westerns on TV anymore. Why? Because they fell out of favor. They're not popular anymore, so people aren't making them. Well, that's fine. Does that mean that all television shows should be Westerns? Because, well, we're ignoring that market that does like Western? No, it just means the medium still exists if someone wanted to make a Western. And then if it succeeds or fails, that's just based on its own merit. Is it a good show? Are there enough people out there who want to see it? It's the same thing with comics. Make your comic, and if enough people want to read it, hey, congratulations, you've now got a hit comic that you can continue to make in a specific genre, whatever it might be. You want to make mystery comics? You can make mystery comics. I bet a lot of people would read them. I bet they would probably be pretty successful. Now, does that mean that, well, in order to do that, we have to now turn, Spider-Man into a monthly mystery comic? No, Spider-Man is an action comic. That's what it should be. It's an action-adventure comic. That's what it always should be. Comic books, these action-adventure comics, these superhero things, they're really based on the old serials that used to be shown in the movies. They weren't the height of cinema back then, but they were fun. People liked them. Flash Gordon, all that. People liked that stuff. You can even go back to the radio days, stuff like The Shadow and things of that nature. Like, people enjoyed that stuff. Was it like the height of, brilliance in entertainment? No, but it was good. It was entertaining. And in fact, if you listen to them now, they're still entertaining because it was just good entertainment. And this is my problem with the comics are for everyone argument that people seem to make. Comics are for everyone. Superhero comics are not. the sooner that the mainstream, like DC and Marvel, learn that and figure that out and hire writers who understand that that is the case, and so they're better off writing superhero comics like superhero comics, things will be way better for the industry as a whole. Until that happens, they're going to continue to have bomb after bomb after bomb. Why? Because nobody wants to read the stuff that they have made. Because they're making stuff in a genre, which is superheroes, that can be in the medium, but should be in a different genre. And, it seems so simple to me, and I just, again, I think it's just people like to corrupt things that they don't like or that they don't understand. They just want to turn it, and they don't really care if they ruin it because they didn't like it to begin with. If you hire somebody who loves comic books to write Batman, and then they write a terrible Batman script and the sales plummet and nobody cares about Batman anymore, that person is going to feel horrible about themselves. If you hire somebody who has never read a comic in their life, they wrote one young adult novel, and suddenly you decided, yeah, we'll give them a run on Batman, and then they write a terrible Batman run, well, they're not going to really care because they're just going to be like, yeah, whatever, I was getting paid, I don't care. Like, I don't care about this stupid comic book thing. It's a guy with a cape. Who gives a rip? This is what you're dealing with. You need to have people who care about the medium and who understand that these different genres within the medium are why the medium is for everyone. It's not always going to be for everyone at every time. Not every specific tiny little, bit of people's tastes is going to be represented at all times. It can't be. It's just not going to be popular enough. Like, if there's a dude out there who's like, I only want to read comics about a main character named Steve who drinks lemonade and it turns him into a werewolf with bat wings, and then he goes and hunts down unicorns so that he can play pool against them in a tournament on Mount Olympus. Guess what? You're going to find one person who wants to read that comic book. And it's not worth printing. It's just not. It's not worth someone wasting their time. So anyway, I could go on about this for a while, but again, genre, medium, two different things. Can we stop confusing the two? Comics are for everyone because comics are a medium. Superheroes, not for necessarily for everyone, because not everyone's going to enjoy every genre, and superheroes are a genre. If you don't like superhero comics, go read a different type of comic. There are others out there. I know some people don't understand that because they're not really into comics. They just like to complain about comics, and they want the right people to be represented. Anyway, that's all for now. Getting a little heated here. My unboxing of Lone Star will definitely be coming up within the next day or two. I wanted to have it up today, but again, things get in the way, things happen. So anyway, it will be up. Don't worry. And my review of Lone Star will be coming as well. All right. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. Follow me on Twitter. Like the video. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. We're over 100 subscribers, baby. So if you want to be part of getting us to 200, woo, come on aboard. All right, so I'll talk to everybody soon. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And that's it. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.